I don't think my air conditioning stops running upstairs.
Yeah, that's been the thing I'd forgotten about most from having a 2-story house was how it's almost impossible in Oklahoma to keep the second story on par with the first floor.
Are you upstairs or downstairs?
Oh, we have 1 story.
Oh, you're 1 story.
Yeah.
You're a ranch.
Yeah, it's pretty it's been a lot easier to keep it, the same temperature all the way through.
Oh, look at that. Can't hear a word you're saying, Lance.
You guys hear me at all?
Oh, there we go.
There you are.
Can you get me?
Yeah.
All right. We're good.
It's just like having Robert on the call.
Yeah.
It's probably worse.
You got on much quicker than Potts could have.
Yeah.
But I will totally agree with the story you guys were talking about with the second story, because it is toasty, a little toasty upstairs today. Yeah. And I usually office downstairs, but we're redoing downstairs, so I'm officing upstairs.
Oh yeah. You got to start early. Like if you're not starting at like 2 a.m, you're already behind.
I can remember doing everything, like going out and washing out the coils on the air conditioner, hoping that would help.
Yeah. When it's 100, dude, it just can't. There's nothing you can do.
It just runs and runs and runs.
Yeah. What's really bad is when you go in there and you're like, all of a sudden you start feeling like it's getting just a little bit hotter, and you go in there and you open up the air conditioner and it's a block of ice.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's when you're like, oh, this isn't good. Honey, call Marriott. We're going down the street.
I made up a good joke. What's the difference between, or what would it be? Why is a second floor air conditioner in Oklahoma and Schultz's mouth the same?
Why?
Because they run all the time.
Oh man, right there. Got a kazinger right there to start it off. All right, with that, we're going to get started here. Hey, it got hot this weekend in Jenks for our tourney, and we had a feature group that had the hitters and the targets all from last week. And that's not all that made it hot. I think literally the gates of hell opened up and sent a blazing inferno to Oklahoma on Sunday. It was like a bazillion degrees. And as a collective group, we were not prepared. But maybe some of us were. But before we get to that, let's meet the players. All right, on the pod today, we got Joe.
Hi, everyone.
Rock solid staple, he's here all the time. And we got Lance in my pants Fuller.
I don't know how to respond to that one, so I'm just not gonna.
Welcome to the call pod. Short time listener, first time caller. He's coming in. Dude, do you remember those Lance in your pants trucks?
Oh, yes. Growing up, it was easy fodder. That was easy. That was not a problem.
My dad was a Lance man, okay, down in Texas. And he would come up and he would just gripe so much. He said, I can't believe they put this Lance on your pants sticker in the back of my truck. I got to drive around with it. I feel like a porn star.
No idea what you're talking about.
You don't?
No.
You don't remember the crackers, the Lance crackers? They had like a whole Lance in your pants.
I don't remember that.
Well,
and then there was a game. I think there was a game called Ants in Your Pants, which was there as well, which I got hammered with as well. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, it could be worse things when you're 7. So yeah.
All right. So we're going to get started with the wider world of golf. We might have a special guest, a critic of the pod, jumping in here later. We're gonna have a little face to face with him, because like I told my wife, she said, we really needed to get Kerry on here from last week so he could tell his side, so the officer could tell his side of the story. And we said, look, we are not a fair and balanced news organization. We only tell the side of the story we want to tell.
Control the narrative at all costs. Although, were you there when Kerry said he finally listened to the podcast for the first time last week?
Yeah.
And he basically said, what a bunch of bullshit.
He's like, I feel like I got punched twice.
Felt like he had to relive the whole ordeal again.
Hey. Oh, see, he should have been up with it. He'd know everything that's going on. He'd know the kind of balanced media and organization we are. All right. So it was funny because I was sitting there today and I like, go out there and I'm like, all right, what are we going to talk about this week? Because I got to come up with stuff, make sure we got stuff to talk about. And I'm like, I don't know, what do we? And I didn't have anything. And then I started going through it and like, I got too much now. That's just the way. There's a lot going on right now. So first we'll start off with, just like we control the narrative, Live Golf and the Saudis, the beheading wonders. They had their first event against the PGA. What were your thoughts? Did you guys watch any of it? Did you look at it? Did you pay attention to it?
No.
I had it on just as the leaderboard confused me a bit to begin with.
Yeah.
Because shotgun start, so they all had whatever left and that kind of thing. But I had it on a little bit. I'm not a huge golf watcher, but I was like, all right, what's this look like? And it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that was, I think I might have turned it on a little. I think the last day I turned it on a little bit to see what Uline would do, but that was kind of it.
And see, I watch a lot at work when I'm working. I usually have golf, and especially on Thursday, Fridays, I'll have the PGA Live on, ESPN Plus, tremendous coverage. Love that coverage. But I went ahead and threw the live session up on a different computer. So I go watch them both. Watch it through YouTube. Like I said, you did get to see a lot of golf shots because they had, you got the whole course is full and they're popping around. But the problem is I didn't care about any of the people that were playing. Just literally didn't. And so I'm watching that and I'm watching the PGA Tour and I get to see, Rory and the guys I like. And then, so roll around Friday and I go to do the exact same thing. Turn on my PGA Live. I'm watching my PGA Live. First, I turn on the YouTube version of Live, and all of a sudden through the whole thing, they are popping this like flasher in the corner. Subscribe. And like, so, and I usually am pretty quiet, but I get on and I'm like on the chat. I'm like, this thing is annoying. This is driving me nuts. And then all of a sudden, and about 10 minutes into it, they put this big like banner, basically says, go watch it on our website. And at that point I said, I am not putting any effort into watching this because I don't care enough. And I turned it off. You can't put barriers in there. That was kind of my thought. Why would you put barriers to people that were watching your thing?
Oh, their whole tournament was kind of like their winner, Charles Schwartzel.
Yeah.
A couple letters short of me really giving a shit.
Yeah. Well, and did you see him anchoring? He's full on anchoring. They don't care. Rules of golf. P. Reed will be like in heaven. They don't even worry about the rules over there. So, but I was largely the only thing that's really distressful about it, and I don't know that I care as a fan, is the fact to find out that Charlie Schwarzenegger got like $4 million.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the other thing that got me mad. Okay. Got me fired up is like earlier in the week, they had their team draft and they're all talking about this draft. Okay. Has everybody here understand how a keeper league works?
Like in fantasy?
Yeah. Like anything. If you keep players,
you somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I've got a team that's already got two players on it and I'm only got one draft spot, where do you draft? In the first round or the last round?
I don't know.
You would draft in the last round.
Oh, okay. Because you've already kept two.
You've already got two players.
Okay.
So what did they do? They filled up like the English team, and I think the South African team with like who Charlie Schwartzel was on, with two players, and then let them have a first round pick. I'm like, you guys have already thrown me off here. You're just cheating. I don't like it. I'm out. I don't know that I'll watch the next event.
It's like arena.
Yeah,
football.
I don't even know how the team thing ended, because I know they get to play off and do stuff like that, and I had no idea how that finished.
So, but I do think like if my hope is the only saving grace of this whole thing is I hope the PGA legitimately does something to retool it and comes up with like a real team. You know what I mean? Like not a team inside something else. It's kind of wackadoodle, like straight on something exciting. Like you have a team that plays 6 events. You know, not a draft. Like owned by like Team Titleist, Team Callaway. You have the major sponsor brands own a team and they draft and have players. I mean, then you get to something like then a trade between teams matters.
Make it more like NASCAR.
Yeah.
Then you got your worst player talking in their best player's backswing. And,
yeah.
You know, like, we know you're not going to win the race, but run out there and push him into the wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it would be funny if they allowed trash talking. Like, I mean, if you're in the NBA, you're trash talking on the court all the time.
Oh, welcome in. Coming in hot. It's 2 gloves.
Hello? Oh, are you already recording?
Oh, yeah, dude, we're in.
Oh, I thought this was like
we start hot.
No, this is content. This isn't just witty banter.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's how we go now. We're just go.
Hey, my brother from another mother's on the line.
There you go. We got it.
Right.
You got Lance in your pants Fuller.
LTG and MTG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that OGTG doesn't fully commit because he takes them off when he putts. So I got a little bit of bone to pick there. You know, he doesn't leave him on when he putts. So we got to commit further.
It was too damn hot yesterday to take your glove off.
I was still drinking water today. I was really thirsty all day long, and I was thinking, man, how much water we lost yesterday. It was hot.
Yeah. I was at Reese's today, picked up a box of Clubbies for the next hot round. Electrolytes. That's the secret. Got to get your electrolytes.
That had to have been the lowest alcohol consumption of any SMGL event ever.
Oh, yes. Without a doubt.
Chuck said he only had 2 beers yesterday.
I know
on 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know on 18 they were talking. They had 4 left. Gibson and oh good gosh, Phelps. They still had 4 beers left, which I don't think I've ever seen or heard of that they had left as of 18.
So
Conley tried to keep our average up, I think. But
so that leads me to a question for you guys. When you're playing in the heat like that, what is your hydration schedule? What do you have, like a hydration plan, a strategy that you go with whenever it's going to be 90 plus on the course?
Well,
I polished off. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying, have you ever used that liquid IV stuff that you dump it in basically a bottle of water, and you shake it up and you drink it? McCune and I did that at Old Kinderhook last year, and it was sort of an amazing recovery.
Is it better than like Gatorade or something?
Well, I don't know. It's probably just amphetamine.
Really expensive Gatorade.
But supposedly it's an electrolyte combination that allows you to absorb water more efficiently, basically.
Oh, there you
go. It doesn't taste better than Gatorade, but yeah, we got them, or at least our team did. My first event with you guys, a guy gave them out, so we all had them. But yeah, there's no flavors. It's not like that.
Oh,
at least the one I had was not.
Oh, the ones I have were like berry. They had lemon, lime, and
oh geez,
raspberry and.
I don't remember that. Then
sounds like something.
That's Two Gloves is getting razzleberry over there.
Yeah,
he's playing Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
My strategy was I had 2 quarts of Powerade.
Okay.
With no sugar Powerade. So it's just like salt water with purple color in it. And then I brought 4 random seltzers that we had in the garage fridge that I'm not like particularly fond of, because I figured I wouldn't want to drink them very fast. And I think I had 3.5 over the course of the round, and felt like I had 12 when I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Got that ass dragging, just the,
Yeah,
you know.
I wish I would have gone the CCAT route and just not had any.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I think at one point, because I drank a couple of those, the teas, and legitimately at one point, I think I had some acid reflux or something, because the problem is you drink them really quick because it's hot.
Yeah.
So you're just downing them. I thought I was going to have a heart attack there on the tee. I played it off. Pulled my driver that hole.
You know, it's funny. I think everyone's game suffered because of it.
Oh, I think most people's did. Some people find out that they're hot weather people. They're heat misers.
No, I meant suffered because of lack of alcohol consumption.
Oh, that could be too.
Might have played into it.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something.
All right. Major thing. Like, I'm sitting there today and I almost completely forgot it. I think I put so much focus when the PGA came to town. US Open this week. You guys
The
excited?
only clue I had was it's going to be Father's Day Sunday. I'm like, hey, isn't the US Open final round usually on Father's Day?
Yeah.
It's funny that we play our golf tournament the day before Father's Day, because God forbid fathers should be able to play golf on Father's Day.
Yeah. I give up Father's Day so I can play golf 52 or 51 other weeks a year on Sunday.
But did you see those videos they were showing of some of the greens at the US Open where they're so slanted down that basically I don't even know how they're going to get the
Nothing
ball.
will stay.
Yeah, they won't stay.
I saw Homa do a chip and basically popped it onto the fringe, and it just trickled. It looked like 10 at Southlakes. Not to hashtag spoiler here, but the worst tee placement or pin placement in the history of golf.
That was the worst setup.
It was
Tee box and pin play.
But we're gonna get to that a little bit later. Hold on. Hashtag spoiler, because I'm still pissed off about that. Ruined my whole back nine, that whole freaking hole. All right, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm kind of getting into it now. Excited to see what it is. I think what I didn't realize is the country club where they're playing, Brookline. You know who won the first US Open there?
Francis, we met.
Boom, there
That's
it is.
everybody's homework. They have to watch the greatest game ever played.
Yeah.
That's all about the US Open at Brookline.
Yeah, outstanding movie. So this week, watch that. You know, when you're supposed to be working.
Well, it's not set up like the Masters, though, where you can't just go online. I mean, you have to what special streaming service do you have to purchase to watch this?
I think it's just your normal stuff. I don't know.
I bet it'll be on either Golf Channel or Peacock, won't it? Doesn't NBC usually have the US Open?
Yeah, because Fox used to have the Open.
Fox, and then Fox quit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Well, it just tells me who the featured groups are. I think it's going to be on. I'm going to watch it on ESPN Plus, which I think is the best way to watch golf.
So they have a blanket contract for all the different tournaments.
Well, I think NBC does, and the Golf
Channel.
Channel.
Thing I'm looking at. So Thursday. Oh, this is the one. So it's on USA Network from 9:30 to 2. Wait a minute.
It's
Yeah,
8:30 our
it's on
time.
USA 9:30 to 2, 2 to 5 on NBC, and 5 to 7 on USA. Those are probably, yeah, those are Eastern times.
Yeah.
So between USA and NBC, it should be on all week. There's a US Open, I guess on Peacock, it's streaming all week on Peacock as well.
Yeah. You get the cock early in. It's 6:30 our time. First tee when they start playing, like 6 o'clock. Coffee golf.
Yeah, I know it's not how they typically set golf courses up, and the US Open is overly punitive, but
Yes.
God, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
they spoil you with the Masters because that's a sweet setup where you can just go to the Masters and watch it, featured groups and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But they should do something like that. You'd think that they would take the hint, other networks and allow that kind of thing. But
So what do you guys think? Is the US Open the hardest major to win?
I think this one will be harder than the one that Rahm just won.
I guess it depends on where it is.
Well, I was watching, once again, spend way too much time on golf. It's the only thing I seem to know anything about, and I don't know much about that. But they were talking about that it's changed the setup. Person set it up is something Davis now, and it just came out of another guy. So you had several US Opens that were all set up that basically the bombers, they were a little
The
wider.
guy from La Fortune
Yeah, basically that
would fly out and set it up for him.
Yeah. So this one is going to be more traditional. It's going to be wide and then get narrow. The rough is crazy long. And the greens are going to be super fast. So it should be a harder test. And these greens, just as a tournament, as a course, are smaller.
Yeah, I guess back to Joe's original piece there, yeah, I would say yes. It seems to always, I don't know if it has been as much in the last decade, but it used to be somebody with maybe even over par to win the thing. So, yeah, I would say it's the toughest.
is it usually a situation where some relatively unknown name makes a run? Is that the?
I think almost never, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think it's
No, Mike, you're exactly wrong. You're totally opposite of what.
No, I mean, it's usually like Justin Thomas or DJ or,
yeah.
Spieth, somebody like that. I mean, there are guys that'll get up there, but they're, guys, if people fall apart in the US Open, it's like they fall completely apart.
Yeah.
It's like the plane comes apart at Mach 1 in midair.
But let's say if you're the number one amateur there, though, don't you get a tour card or something? What's the deal with the U.S. Open? So if you win it, okay, run it down for me as a.
What do you get for winning the U.S. Open?
Well, so the U.S. Open is different than other majors in the sense that it's open, right?
Right.
So amateurs can play in it. So if you're an amateur and what do you have to do to if you win the tournament? Obviously, what happens? Do you get a tour card, or do you get?
No.
Actually,
Money back.
Wait a minute.
Amateurs can play in 3 of the majors.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open, the Open Championship, and the Masters will all have amateurs in it. The PGA will not, I don't believe.
So, but if you win the U.S. Open, that doesn't get you anything other than just the fact that you won the U.S.
Well,
Open.
not really, because it's run by the USGA instead of anything affiliated with the PGA.
Right. If you are an amateur going in here, and that's how you got qualified into it, so you have to qualify in, and you're an amateur, you have to play as an amateur. The only advantage you get is if you're in a top 10, anybody in the top 10 automatically gets invited back next year. The problem is if you're an amateur and you get that means you have to keep your amateur status to play again. Somebody did that. I can't remember who it was.
waited a year and kept their amateur status.
Yeah, they had come back, and it might have been the ladies the US Open. But
It'll
you
be
get a
interesting.
handshake, and then the second place guy gets a big check, which I don't agree with. I think if you're an amateur and you get in there and you win it, you should say, you know what, give me the cash.
So if you're an amateur and you win the tournament, you get nothing. No money.
You get a trophy. You do get the trophy.
Now, what if you want to, if you enter as an amateur, can you not change your mind if you win it and say, just kidding, I'm going pro now?
Nope. You have to declare before the tournament. And in those, however you qualify is how you have to be.
But if you won it as an amateur, everyone would remember your name from now until the end of time.
Well, let's see when the last time an amateur won the tournament.
Well, it says, I'll tell you right now, I just Googled it because I was curious.
Didn't Ken Venturi win it as an amateur?
Well, it says 5 amateurs have won 8 U.S. Opens in history. Francis Ouimet in 1913. Yep. Ouimet, yep. Jerome Travers, 1915. Charles Evans Jr., 1916. Bobby Jones 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
1923, 26, 29, and 30. And John Goodman in 1933.
That's before he got the Roland Roseanne, I think.
Yeah. So I can do as a flat belly.
Where apparently he makes some money.
What did maybe Venturi was runner up one year. I was thinking maybe that was a Masters he almost won.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, Bobby Jones was always an amateur. So he'd win. He got the Grand Slam, but by winning the US Am, the British Amateur, the Open, and the US Open all in the same year.
So, wow, I'm learning something. So Bobby Jones was never a professional golfer.
Nope.
That is an amazing fact that I can't believe I didn't know, and now I do know, and I'm going to use that at a party at some point.
Yeah, I don't. But the thing is also to remember at that time, being a professional golfer was different than being one now. There wasn't really a tour. Professional golfers basically went from like exhibition to exhibition, like you're.
Oh yeah.
And basically did a bunch of gambling and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was a practicing attorney for a large part of his career, I think.
Yeah. Then he bought a little bit of land in Georgia.
Well, even that's how the NFL used to be, because I remember my little brother in the house, his dad was played for the Green Bay Packers, but during the summer he had to come back and take a real job to make ends meet, and he was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's basically the LPGA right now. Like most of those girls on there, because their season's a lot shorter than the PGA Tour, they'll be like nurses and stuff.
Yeah, let me tell you something though. They could play.
Oh, well, you saw that a girl won the first DP World Tour, Dude Perfect World Tour over there in Europe.
I didn't.
I don't know what that is.
The old Euro Tour is now called the the DP World Tour.
Okay.
Do you guys know who Dude Perfect is?
No.
Isn't that an app you try to shoot the basketball into?
Yeah, it's where they do like these tricks on videos and stuff. So it's called the DP World Tour. Some people call it the Dude Perfect, which is just a slap name. But they had a tournament that it was actually a co-sanctioned event. So it was women and men playing on the same course in the same tournament. They just played from different tees, and a female won it.
Well, I would think that's the only reason that the females aren't as good as the males is because they move the tees. They make the drive more important than, because if the fact of the matter is, if they were to play on a target golf course, there's some of those ladies that lights out.
Oh yeah, they'll dominate it. So no, I thought that's exciting. I'm excited for the US Open. I think it's going to be good television. Definitely some good Sunday watching there.
But you know what? To your point about the PGA and Live and the whole controversy, hey, you know what? We live in a competitive world, and the fact of the matter is that the development of a league like the LIV can only do one of two things. It either make the PGA better and more attractive, because there's a reason that league exists. It doesn't exist because the PGA was so awesome that no one could ever envision anything else, right? So this ought to be instructive for the PGA. And if in fact is if they can't compete, then everyone's going to migrate over to these other formats, and whether it's a corporate sponsored format like the DP Tour, or the Live Tour, which is I guess a consortium of investors. But competition's a good thing. So, and I know, people say, oh, it just detracts from the purity of the game, but I don't see how it does that, really. The fact of the matter is that if you've got a talent, look, make no mistake about it, the people that are on the PGA, their talent's for sale. That's why they're not playing. They love to play golf for sure, but they also want to make a buttload of money.
I'll go back to the most ridiculous stat that exists in golf today, that as of today, Dustin Johnson's golf-related career earnings exceed that of Tiger Woods. That is complete and utter bullshit, fallacy, whorism. It used to be that's how you ranked yourself, right? By your accomplishments, how many tournaments you won, and that equated to career earnings.
Only because Tiger turned down the offer, though.
Well, that's a good point.
I heard it was in the high nine.
But still, if you're looking at most golf-related career winnings, who would you expect to be at the top?
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Not somebody that got $100 million for not doing anything except signing his name in infidel blood.
Well, it's just like boxing, where the two guys show up. It ought to be a 95-5 split on the purse, but it's not. Even the loser, if you're going up against Mike Tyson and you lose, you still get $20 million. That's just an unfortunate situation, but I agree with you. But on the other hand, Tiger could have gone and done that, and then Tiger still be at the top of the list. If that's how he wants to rank himself.
Well, he could have, but he ranks himself by the size of his trophy room, which is the way golf greatness should be ranked, I think.
Well, do you think in the annals of golf history, this is going to change the ranking?
No, I just think it's.
Look at the competition they're playing against.
If you had your C-team salesman at Omni Valve get a job offer from your competitor, and he now made twice as much money as your best salesman, you'd go, that doesn't really hold water.
Well, no, but I'd also say good riddance. have at them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I thought of a comparable for you guys. All right, career earnings on the NBA. Michael Jordan isn't even the top 100.
Oh, yeah, salaries have just blown up there. So it's those guys in the 80s and 90s weren't even in the same stratosphere than what they're making now.
Well, look at Bobby Jones, the guy that probably had the best year ever in golf, zero earnings, right?
Yeah. I'm not even sure how he got across the pond. I think he might have to pay for his own way.
But not even Tiger was able to do what he did. They had to make up the Tiger Slam.
Oh yeah,
because he couldn't do all four in 1 year. So
yeah.
Well, and even Tiger didn't make the majority of his money on golf earnings.
No. Well, and I think that's the biggest misnomer about the PGA Tour, what it provides to these people, and it provided to all these people that are going. The only reason these people probably almost all of them make 2 to 3 times what they make on course, off course.
Call me old fashioned, but I prefer a meritocracy.
Yeah.
I do too. I just wish they would structure it like that.
Yeah.
But look, if somebody started if the XFL, when it existed, wasn't offering basically what amounts to minimum wage for the scrub players to come move over there. If they were actually paying out contracts that were 3 or 4, 5, 6x what the NFL players were earning, how long do you think it would be before those guys were going over to the XFL? I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, but money talks and bullshit.
Yeah.
Walks and
Colin Kaepernick might have a job.
well,
I don't disagree. I mean, I think the only real problem with the live is A, who's at the head of it, and B, who's funding it. And those are the only two problems people really have. I think what you're saying about that, because the PGL is another one that they were trying to get that going. And then I think it will spur the PGA Tour and them to innovate and be more competitive. But I did think about this. Okay, so here's something weird. Can you name another sport where how much money the winner makes for winning a tournament?
boxing.
Yes, that's true. You know the purse there.
I mean, aren't there a
Race car
lot?
driver.
Auto racing, yeah.
Yeah.
Tennis.
I mean, because most of them we like are like football. You win a game and there's no prize that gets paid out for winning that.
Well, that's what I mean. If Joe's got a point, and that is that meritocracies are always funner to watch, and that's why I don't understand why, for instance, they don't make, say, the Masters. Okay, the winner gets $100 million. Okay, second place maybe 1 million. And then they graduate a scale down to the point where it's so incredibly lucrative to win that you focus on that winning.
Yeah.
Instead of now, I mean, those guys can go over to the LIV. I guess they don't even have to. They have to play. I guess they have to. It's a participation trophy, and it's a very lucrative one.
Yeah.
The last place finisher got $120,000.
Yeah. See, that's just. That's so bad that it's so good for the guys that are taking the deal. They're like, hell yeah, I'm signing me up for that.
They should have called it the Millennial League.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that's I don't know. I think we'll see. I think you're going to see great changes. I do think you're going to see a lot of this next one that's here in America. You're going to see a lot more guys jump. That's where you're seeing your Brysons. And the real problem is if they can start getting. Bryson is the first person I think that's going over there that is a legitimate kind of, I hate to say superstar, but he is a top 10 player that most people know outside of like the high golf range.
False. I think he once was. I think he's so screwed up by his quest for club head speed. I don't think he's ever going to get back to where he was. I really don't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you know what this is?
Yeah. What's the fable about what? Oh, they're like a kid's fable about somebody that like
tortoise and the hare.
Tortoise and the hare. Yeah.
It'll come to me.
Here's my biggest fear though about this LIV is it's getting ready to become the Cowboy Network. I mean, they're getting ready to get Matthew Wolf. They're going to get Ricky. They got Uline.
Well, and they're setting up the thing where you can bet. I mean, this is the fact is that league is embracing the sort of extended network of interactivity and technology that the PGA hasn't done yet. And maybe that's what it forces the PGA to do. Maybe the PGA says, okay, look, perhaps we need to take control of our broadcast rights and do it more like the Masters does. Make it a streaming event where people can log in, choose their favorite players, follow their favorite groups. Maybe they even integrate a betting aspect to it. Maybe they do something to make it more interesting than just the gentleman's game that, look, they're going to have to do something to baseball too. Golf's not the only sport they're going to have to do something with.
Yeah.
You have a point about golf though, because if it's not a major or maybe 2 or 3 tournaments like, TPC or Doral or whatever, I could care less who wins the Valspar Classic.
Right.
But don't they keep points and have a, isn't it like the San Diego Finish League where if you win tournaments, you get points, and at the end of the year, they declare a points champion like NASCAR? Or,
Okay, here's the problem with this.
Is somebody having some stomach issues? Are you guys hearing that? There's somebody messing with me.
Fuller runs to the bathroom.
Oh my God, what was that?
Oh, speaking of which, you're gonna love my update.
What is that?
Fuller, what are you doing?
I'm almost worried that we need to just send a doctor to somebody.
I know. Oh. Yeah.
All right, Sean, what's the agenda here?
Yeah, well, let's get this thing going.
All right, yeah, let's get going here. Okay, first off, okay. All right, let's read our unsanctioned ad read of the week. All right, and we're going off because of Joe's hydration strategy. That is who picks our unsanctioned ad read of the week. This is a completely unsanctioned ad read that we do just because we want to. And hopefully we don't get sued at any point in time for doing these. And if we do, that'd be fun. That'd be some great press because that means everybody would have heard about it. See, that's our whole game. All right. Truly hard seltzers. Life is full of flavor with 30 flavors and counting. We've got one for every occasion. Joe, how many of the occasions did you have in your bag last weekend?
4.
How many were good occasions?
3. There was one that was, I'm trying to figure out what it is. It was like classic lime or something. It was awful.
Oh, so what's in the can? Good question. The short answer, a whole lot. Inside every can of Truly is a fresh adventure just waiting to be open and plenty of seltzer. That's because you never know where your next sip will take you. Maybe a boat, maybe a bar crawl, maybe a boarding a flight that's scheduled to a secluded island off the coast of Croatia that you always thought about going to. You know, the one with the bottomless seafood buffet. Yeah, you know. That is legitimately on their website. That's their sales pitch. Do you know there's a Truly bar in LA?
Not. Oh, you know what it was? Oh, no wonder.
What was it, a mixer?
Oh God. No, it was Truly classic lime. I didn't see the margarita style.
Oh,
That explains a lot. God, it was horrible. I think I had 2 double bogeys when I had that one open.
Hey, speaking of double bogeys, can we talk about the tournament?
yeah. Yes, sir. All right, we're back here.
I'm mad.
Uh-oh. All right. Event number 11, Southlakes. We wanted to take it easy on the boys after a rough weekend at Forest Ridge. Forest Ridge kicked some people in the cojones, left them bending over. So we thought we'll go to a really nice place, Southlakes. It's reasonably priced, nice open fairways, would lead to an enjoyable time at Jenks at Southlakes. It was built in 1989 by our own Heckenkemper, who I believe also built Forest Ridge, didn't he?
He did.
He did. See, not anything alike. You can't look at those two courses and think they're anything the same. 1989. So it is. Now here's what's crazy. Okay, so we thought we'd play it as a short course. It's a 6,400 yard par 71. I don't know what it is about this course, but for some reason we think we got to back it up because it's a short course. But the golds are 5,800 yards, which is probably 5,800 to 6,000 if we want to play as a par 72. But we keep backing it up.
Everyone thinks it's an easy course too. They say, "Oh, we're going to go play Southlakes to get a breather," and it's. I mean, sure, it's forgiving in some ways, but whew.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I'll say about this course, the way it's set up, it is fairly friendly. It's pretty open. There's definitely a lot. There's only like one hole that I can think of that you really get in trouble for losing the ball right. That would be 3. Because there's a pond to the right.
Yeah.
If you really get a hold of one.
More of the trouble's on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's made for people. If you slice, you're okay in that course. You're not gonna get in a lot of trouble. You hit a hook or you put a power draw like my boy Joe and his new power draw. It's impressive.
The hook holes that'll get you. Let's count them. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7.
10.
No, not 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
13, not really. 14 will get you. 15, 16.
Yeah.
17's okay. Well, no, 17's got
17
water
got
on the
pond to
par
left.
three.
And
Oh,
we're
18.
going to go through everyone, but every.
That's like 19 holes that you can get in trouble on if you hit it left.
Yeah.
I never had thought of that before, but really, I mean,
It's 100% set up not to hit the ball left.
Yeah.
wow.
So, all right. So what I want to do real quick is, we go through here, we call it good holes, bad hole, and what our favorites, but I'd like to I want to go really quick and get you guys impressions on each hole. I'll give a quick description of it. And then you guys can kind of come in on what your description is of what your feelings are for that hole. So the first hole is, hold on. I'm completely not prepared.
It would be number 1.
Yeah.
Is that where we start this wasn't a shotgun start? Hold on. I'm sorry. Jeez. Johnson, this is where you're supposed to fill. Okay. First hole, 391, par 4, straight ahead. It's got a little tree up near the right side of the green, and the green tilts from back to front. What's you guys' thoughts on
Now,
that?
Sean, it's a gentle dog leg left.
There's no dog leg.
It's a gentle, Joe, back me up here, bro. It's a gentle dog leg left.
You don't want to be on the right side. I'll put it that way.
I mean, it may have a right-sided pregnancy on it.
It's got a bump out.
It's got a bump out. I'll go with the bump out.
It's an easy 5.
You mean that big tree?
Well, if you're short of the tree,
It's an easy 5 unless you're Conley Phipps, and then you just start a 2 on it and go to the next tee box.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later. It doesn't-
My better half is having trouble. Just a minute.
Was anybody in Conley's group yesterday?
Can you guys hear me? I
Yeah.
absolutely was in his group. Yeah, it was the most. I'll talk about that as a shot forever. That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
So what did he do?
Did it bounce off a fence post or
No,
just draw right in and go in the hole?
it pretty much did that. Gibson was the one that said, he said, I think that went in the hole. Conley was behind me and I don't know if he was as far right as I was. And he took a 5-wood and just smoked it. And we walk up there, and I walked across the green, but didn't even look in the cup. And he walks in, walks up, and it's sitting in there. So I can't tell you how far it was, but it was a 5-wood that he smoked, and it was just beautiful. It was as pure could be.
So his drive was not spectacular, but the second shot is all it took.
Yeah.
God, we're a bunch of
Shot of the
bastards.
day.
We automatically go, well, what happened on his drive?
Yeah. He had a 5-wood into that. I think I had like an 8-iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the shot of the day. It's the most amazing thing. He was on, his 5-wood was on, but that was the best shot he hit.
All right. The second hole, par 3. It's got water left.
Yeah.
Way left. and
Way
shallow.
left. It's pretty straight ahead. It comes out a little bit in front, I think. Kind of tears up there, but elevated, another back to front green. What do you guys think of that hole?
Yeah.
Well, I threw a dart on that hole with about a 6-foot birdie putt. Missed it.
It's about an average par 3, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Third hole, 371. This one is a slight dogleg left. This one I'll give you the slight dogleg left around the trees. It's got, if you go too far right, there's a pond.
Too far left, you're in the nice cool shade.
Yeah, lots of shade over there to the left.
Yeah, that's a good hole. It's pretty skinny down there in the landing area. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get a good drive, you'll be fine if you steer it. The problem with it is it goes straight south. And if you have any south wind at all and you get the ball offline just a little bit, it's going to shove you over where you don't want to be.
Yeah. It's a big green.
I always seem to hit it over in those trees. So it's probably my second. My number 8's my most hated hole, but 3's probably my second.
There you go. All right. Where are we at? Four. This one bends around. Another dogleg left. A lot of dogleg lefts here.
Mm-hmm.
Around the pond, you got a trap on the right at about 200, and a little shed down there.
I like that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
nice
think
hole.
it's good.
It's wide open.
What? Okay, so
Very much.
never mind. All right. All right. The next one, 5. 5 is a hard dog leg. It's a 90-degree.
It's harder than it looks. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That water will jump out there and grab you.
I had a
I like the
revelation
hole.
on that hole. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like that hole when I make the decision that I'm not going over the water. I just play long, because if I do anything else, I get screwed.
I used to bitch because I always had like 170 to the hole, you know,
Yeah.
but it finally dawned on me. If I wanted to have a 30-yard shot to the hole, I had to hit it to the spot on the fairway that was 130 yards from the hole. And I never aimed. I mean, really, I never aimed at that spot. And I was always like, how come I'm always 170 yards out? Well, I was aiming at the spot that was 170 yards out.
Because you naturally aim at those traps that are just straight out there.
Yeah,
like
you're a ways away from over there.
Yeah. But in order to get to 130, you've got to be willing to
Hit a little
flirt with the
power.
water. So, all right. 6, 200-yard par 3.
It's bullshit. Hate that
Yeah,
hole.
this hole is so funny because it's just a straight shot to the green, okay? And it's the hole that everyone screws up. And I don't know why. They either
Well,
crank it left.
200 yards.
Yeah, I mean, but
200-yard shot, you have to land in a 20-yard wide opening. You know, I mean, it looks wide open, but where you have to land it to get it on the green, and it's always so wet in front of the green. Nothing ever hits and rolls up on the green on that hole. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah. But if you think about it, I mean, that's a 200-yard par 3. That's what the pros are playing. Once again,
John, you know what league we're in, buddy?
yeah, 6,400 yard
Yeah.
or 71. Great choice.
It's a choke down driver.
All right, we may just go. All right, so we'll go 7. We're gonna go just through the front 9. 7.
Dogleg right. It's a legitimate dogleg. A slight dogleg.
It's a C. Now it's basically a straight hole with a
You got to
tree.
play it as a dogleg though.
Well, you got the traps about 225 along the left, trees on the right, and then you have a pond that's short right of the elevated green.
Yeah, but if you go 10 yards right,
Yeah.
you know, at all, you're in the
Easy way.
trees.
Yeah,
And
you're
if you go to
yeah.
the left, you're in the bunker.
You got to play it like it's a dogleg.
Yeah. Which one thing I have to say is I'm willing to go out there and buy these guys like one of those extension saws to trim up those trees a little bit. They're a hot mess.
So you're saying you don't like the game of golf?
No, I think you need to trim your bushes. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I don't like the European. I'm American golf. I like American golf.
that's what Joe used to tell me. I would hit a tree. I was like, that. I hit a great shot. It just hit that branch. He goes, "You're not supposed to hit the branch. It's a tree."
You should join the Heritage Hills if you like no tree, Sean.
Yeah. Oh. All right. 8 is a really long par 4.
That's
Plays
my
right
favorite.
next to the road.
Ugh, I'm with Lance. That's my least favorite hole on the course. It sucks.
My second least favorite.
And it wasn't yesterday, but when I play it, sometimes in the evening, sun's right in your eyes. You can't see where it's going.
Oh yeah.
And then you're playing dodgeball with cars because they're right there. But I hate it.
Yeah, that one actually, I legitimately pushed it to the right, had kind of this window that I had where you got like a branch and you're going to go under it and then over the next tree because I'm that good. See, I can do that. I instead of going over, I went under with a bladed like 8-iron. Ended on the back of the green. Thought I was going to go on the street, but I chipped it up, got close. It was one of my best chips of the day. Made the putt. Simple par. All right, and then finally on the front 9, the last hole, par 5, the only par 5 on the front 9, 539 yards. Now this one is, I mean, it's just dead, goes right next to the road on the left.
It's a good hole. I think most people get in trouble on it though, because it's like a freaking runway, right? Like you just think you have the green light, and most people try to hit it too hard. I mean, you can hit a decent driver in a 7-iron, and you have 100 yards to the pin.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's thinking, I'm going to crush a driver and then hit a 3-wood right in the screws and be,
yeah,
4 or 5 foot eagle putt, and it never works out.
It worked out one time for Lonnie, and so that's his philosophy on every hole of that nature.
Yeah. And you had a tailwind yesterday.
Yeah.
Just thinking about hitting hard. So, but all in all, I think it's a good, I think the front 9 is probably the easier of the two. So
we'll say the
I
course
like
is
the
good
back
today.
better.
What?
I always play the back a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't yesterday, but typically I think I do.
I have a bone to pick with Chambers because he broke the first rule of golf club, which is you never ever tell another member of your foursome how great they are playing in the middle of a round. Because as soon as you say that, as soon as you mention that, everything goes to hell. And that exact thing happened to me. I was having a round of my life, and Chambers goes, "Man, you're playing so well. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it." Okay. From that point forward, I doubled every other hole on the front 9 and proceeded to fall completely apart on the back 9. And it's because of his grimoire unleashed on me.
Hey, we won't cover the whole back 9, but
Yeah.
can we talk about how fucked up number 10 was yesterday?
Yeah, we need to talk about 10 because they have this big long.
I forgot how close the tee box was to the fence until just now.
Yeah. So they have this huge tee box, and they put the tees all the way towards the back. They want to stretch it out, but there's a tree that you've got to keep you had what, 8 feet to stay?
I think it was 9 or 10 feet, I would guess, to the bottom of the tree.
Yeah. And so I think, I'm gonna scoot over to the left-hand side to give me as much room as possible. Well, lo and behold, when I take my club back, it clangs right into the fence.
Oh, I thought you'd broken your driver.
Hey, that was one of the best holes I had all day.
Oh, God.
I know.
I hate that hole because I finally got one out there, and then I hit this great drive. The second shot, I hit it left, almost goes OB, but I got enough room for a shot. I hit this great thing on the iron, a great iron onto the green. I've got a long putt, And that's the one where the pin was sitting on the side of a mountain, on the
Yep.
peak of a mountain.
Is that even legal, or is that just bad sportsmanship on the part of the greenskeeper?
No, all the
Yeah.
pin placements though were on the margins of the greens. Did you notice that? They were all in weird
Yeah.
locations.
It's like they know we're coming. I've never seen a pin placement like a couple of those we had at Southlakes
But
yesterday.
you know, shouldn't you take that as a compliment? Oh, the Sandy McFinish guys are coming. We're gonna have to make this really tough.
I wondered if that guy from LaFortune got transferred over there, maybe.
Well, I mean, they're sister courses, so they probably share a guy.
Yeah. They share
I played it
intel.
Friday. Played it Friday as well, and the pins were not in the same spot, but they were tough spots. I don't know. It's the toughest I can remember for those pin placements both days.
All right. It says right here, according to rule 15-3, the most important factor when deciding where to place a hole is good judgment in deciding what gives a fair results. The
So in other
USGA
words-
also admonishes tournament officials not to be tricky when choosing hole locations.
Mhm.
So in other words, it's totally subjective and unenforceable in any way.
So these poor guys have been working with herbicides most of their adult life. Yeah. They haven't made probably the best life choices up to this point.
Nope.
And they're just giving the finger to the rest of the world.
Yeah, because right here, here's the smoking gun. The USGA suggests, it's not a rule, suggestion, that at least 2 foot radius surrounding the hole should be nearly as possible of a uniform grade. I mean, that thing was on the peak
Yeah.
of Mount Everest.
It was
No,
on the
it
edge.
was uniform. It was all downhill.
Hey, I made my putt from above the hole though.
Oh, I 4-putted
No.
that green. 4-putted. That was the end of my disaster right there. I couldn't recover. So, all right. So, winners and losers this week. In third place, Conley with the eagle, put him right in there. Took it away from our fourth place guy. Who got fourth place this week? Does it matter?
That was me, I think.
Oh, was it you? Look at that. Gilbert in fourth, Conley in fifth, Phipps in third, Officer in second, and our own Lance in your pants Fuller, first place, victory lap. Please tell us about your experience.
So, I said this before. It could happen again. It may not happen again. It was, it was surprising, not just to you guys, but probably to me. So we'll go from there. It doesn't hurt when you have a handicap because I'm not the greatest at it. But I will tell you, it helps that Gibson and Phipps played well. I think you feed a little bit off when you've got guys in your group that are playing well. It didn't hurt that I started off really hot and I think I had bogey par, which probably with my pops put me at 4 under after 3 holes. And then it was just a matter of managing it. I didn't drive the ball well all day, but I hadn't been hitting my irons very well, or my approaches, and those were better. Sean, you played with me twice unfortunately for you, at Forest Ridge, and I couldn't hit an iron. So it was.
You know what you did, Lance?
What?
You know what you didn't
What
have?
did I do?
Any triple bogey.
What did I not have?
You
I did not have a triple
had no
bogey.
triple bogey.
I mean, is this your best? I mean, you straight up shot as 94. Is that your best score on record?
418, yes.
It's impressive.
I think.
Well, yeah, you deserve. You throw down your best round, you expect to win.
Yeah.
So it's good it worked out that way.
Yeah, and I am not I'm not sorry to win. It's nice. I know the course. It's the one I've played probably the most, so that helps. And like I said, I was hitting things straight. All of that played into it. It was a good day for me. Apparently, yeah, I play well when it's hot. Maybe that's what it is there. But it was nice. It was a good round. I didn't have a blow up hole. I typically have one or two around where you got a 9 or a 10 or an 8, or I've had some 12s before and didn't have that yesterday. And that saved me because, like you said, Michael, no triples, which meant I pretty much was even or under for every hole when you counted all the strokes I was getting. So for me, it was fun. And like I said, it did help that Chuck and Conley played well, because I think that made it just easier to do that. Nobody was struggling yesterday.
You were -9 yesterday. That is by far the lowest score in any tournament so far. I think the previous lowest winning score was -1 or -2.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Oh, sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead.
No, I played well. That's probably, for right now, it's probably as good as I could have done, and made it a whole lot, I will admit, made it a whole lot easy on 18. I didn't have to worry about anything. Nobody, it's
62.
funny. Yeah. Phipps told me at some point, he pulled it up and he goes, "You want to know?" And I'm like, "I guess, it doesn't matter." And I guess I was ahead by 3. I knew I was up by 4 going into 18. And so I was just going to play it. And I didn't really hit a great tee shot, but I hit a pretty good second and third. And then it was just a matter of 3-putting from the edge. But yeah, when you're 4 up, it's tough. In my head, I'm going, I can get a 10 and still tie for this. I can get a 9.
That's Scotty
and win this thing.
Scheffler
That's
type of round right there.
Yeah, that was not that I would have completely choked it off, but that sure helped me not do it. I'll admit that. So it was
Great
fun.
round.
Yeah, and so Lance, you joined the league you kind of came in at Kinderhook last year, kind of a late call, got called up to the majors. And so this is your first full season with us. I'd like to get an impression. How do you think so much of the league and how it's going and what's going on so far?
So it's, I think some of you are some of the guys I had played with a little bit last year. I think Two Gloves and Joe and Schultz. There may have been some others. Obviously, I'd played with Gibson and Potts before, so I knew some of those guys before Kinderhook. Quite frankly, it's Kinderhook made this year easier because I at least got a chance to interact with everybody. And then this year it's more about me. My only goal is I don't want to finish last. So that was the only thing I really had going into that part. I like all the courses. There's ones I've never played before. The one in Cushing I would have never played before. Kinderhook last year I would have never played before. So that part is really good. I'm disappointed I couldn't play Bailey Ranch, the one in Owasso. I just had stuff going on that week. So that's the part that's fun. I do like the fact that they switch around who you play with. So you get a chance to see who, everybody kind of how they play. I'll throw it back a little bit to yesterday. What is it? Kerry shoots like a 78. That was like amazing. I realized that he didn't have near the strokes he gets for that, but man, a 78 would have been just amazing to see. And all of you guys have been pretty good with me because I'm not always that good. I will hack a lot at certain times, and everybody's been really good in just letting me get through that part. So it's been fun. I appreciate it.
We enjoyed having you. So at least I do. Some of these guys on the pod don't. They talk about you behind your back, but I personally enjoy having you on.
Schultz is the worst.
Schultz trying to get Chambers to run me over and damage me, I guess. See, he changed his tactic on Two Gloves because he just started talking to him and he tried to run me over. So sorry about that, BG. Watch out for Chambers. He comes after you.
Yeah, he's this veneer of super nice guy underneath which lies the assassin.
Yeah. I don't know. He's the live golf guy. He goes for wherever the money is. Whoever
Oh,
pays him, he'll do
he's
whatever
completely
the
selling
access
out.
is. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
you know, to give him some credit, poor Chambers. He had a really bad round. He fell of it. Nothing was working, and he got so frustrated because I mean he couldn't hit a drive, he couldn't hit anything, and he just poor guy. I've been there before, but boy, I tell you what, he had a bad round. That's for sure.
So he and I played Friday from the Blues, and he shot a 101. I think he shot a 109 yesterday. I shot a 106. And he felt his drives weren't great, but he was hitting his irons fantastic. And then basically we flipped on Sunday. He couldn't hit anything. And that's frustrating. I don't know if he was hitting everything right, but he sure was on Friday. Everything was going right on him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you know what's impressive to me actually is how many of the guys with the super low handicaps are actually still managing to compete. I mean, just leading the league, Landon tied for you're in 8th position. Okay, so you're not at the bottom. Okay, and but for Joe, it's Joe, Schultz, Purcell, Carey. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, of those guys, Schultz has a high handicap, but Gilbert, Purcell, and Aud don't. They have low handicaps, and they're still racking up points, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, if you have a low handicap, you have to really play great golf to be able to compete in a tournament with a guy like me that's got a 20 handicap. You know,
I think what has happened this year is the guys that still have a little higher handicap, theirs are down some, but the range of their scores has tightened up quite a bit. So you don't have anybody shooting way over their handicap or way under. Everybody's probably plus or minus 4 from their handicap, you know, on average, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what's given lower handicap people more of a shot this year, as I think everybody has stabilized a little. You don't have the big wild swings in scores from people.
Right. You don't have people that are shooting, I mean, 9 under their handicap. That just doesn't happen. Usually it's 2 to 4 is about as big as you get. Usually it's more like 1 or 2. And they're coming in pretty flat to the score. So
You're welcome.
yeah. No. Hey, that's it. So that is it. That right now, Joe's got a 4-point shot on the shocker. It's pretty much 2-man race. I'm in 3rd place it's 23 points behind, but I missed the next 2 tournaments. My season is over. I'm now just trying to keep the 3rd place spot. I'm going to come back hard on the last tournament and try to mess up and keep my 3rd spot. There's a gaggle of guys right behind me at about 30 points. So
Schultz has got a big advantage because he's the defending champion at the par 3 this week.
So we got the par 3, but before we get into the par 3, okay? Because we have a little beef. All right. Johnson, you can't don't turn off your lights. You there?
Well, I was taking a sip of wine.
All right. Look, you can drink all the wine you want on this podcast. This is an adult only. All right. So my understanding is I've heard rumblings that you're trying to live golf me on our podcast, that you're wanting to start a rival podcast and steal the talent from the SMGL podcast.
No, absolutely not. No, there's no possible way I would do that. But I will say this. You got a Bogart-like grasp on the creative content that goes into the Sandy and Finish podcast, and you've got to relinquish some of that there, Hot Rod. Just saying.
I would love for people to give me what they want to do. I'm here.
No, you're done because I tried to do it. Now look, you know what? I'm going to play you know what? We're going to do this live because I thought I'm going to play my update live. Hold on. I'm doing it.
We're not gonna be able to hear it, but that's okay.
I have
Bear
a
with me.
live tape from
Why not?
Mikey Two Gloves at a party after 2 bottles of wine one night. Here, your
Hey.
podcast sucks. Your podcast is horrible.
No,
Your
it's not the
podcast
case.
really sucks.
It's
You
just
guys
that
are a
I-
giant waste of oxygen.
no,
and
it's
you
just that
should
we're
quit.
here's the deal. We're a great group of guys. We have a pretty compelling deal, but I think that the podcast could benefit from some additional content. I don't know what the hell am I doing.
Okay, so you're gonna work on. I'll tell you what. I will splice in your thing right here. Okay.
Do it.
All right. I can't do it now, but I'll do it.
Why?
Post production.
That's what I'm talking about. You don't even have the technology. What the F? You don't have the technology to splice in audio live?
Well, I thought about it. I'm starting to do some work on it, dude. Come on. You know how much investment we put into this?
Well, I offered to be an actual paying sponsor and you turned me down.
I told you could bring all your content for free, and you chose not to give it to me.
No. Oh, yeah.
He's frozen. He's frozen.
I'm offended.
No, look, hey, but here's the deals. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go with this. Okay, so you get ready because I know you got to have like a month worth of scheduling conflicts.
I'm gonna play this because I think that it'll work. We'll see if it'll work. If not, you can edit it out. Here we go.
That's a lot of work.
Hey, all you Sandy McFinish podcast fans, it's Mikey Two Gloves here, coming to you live from aboard the Two Glove Institute's brand new Gulfstream G700,
Can you hear that?
aka the Titan of the Skies. Because once you become the OG of an exploding global movement, achieve a certain level of financial success, and gather a cult-like entourage of scantily clad hotties, it's the only way to fly, baby. You know, I was shadow banned from the podcast for some time by Mr. Purcell, who was clearly envious of my newfound fame and fortune. But I'm back and with a vengeance, because Sean is nothing but a pathetic podcast ratings whore. No, wait, strike that. There are ratings whores, and then there is Sean, who is more like a podcast ratings street hooker. Let's put it this way. If Schulte likes fluffers, he would love Sean, the podcast rating street hooker. You picking up what I'm laying down? So predictably, in his quest for the next podcast ratings pop, he started begging me to come back and provide more Two Gloves updates, which admittedly makes some sense considering that interest in the Two Gloves movement in general and the Two Gloves Institute in particular has accelerated like a hypersonic missile. But I digress. In keeping with the Two Glove Institute's mission of paying it forward and helping our fellow competitive golfers make outrageous improvements to their golf games, today I am proud to announce exclusively on the Sandy McFinish podcast the worldwide launch of the first of two incredible new products that will soon be referred to as the must-have bifecta of golf. Now, I know what you're thinking. One of these must-have new products has got to be a new and improved, nay, a unique pair of golf gloves. And you would be right. But old MTG isn't about to deliver the most potent seed from the sperm bank in his first pearl necklace. Oh no, no siree, Bob. The pièce de résistance will only be revealed when I am damn good and ready, and no sooner. So that brings us to the first of the Two Glove Institute's products to be made available for non-member purchase. Have you ever had one of those on-the-course intestinal fortitude issues somewhere in between total constipation and a Dr. Fields-like big sugar style emergency bowel evacuation? A repetitive and persistent need to let fly with blast after blast of the most noxious smelling ass gas known to man or beast? So much so that a hazy fog follows you around the course like the dust that followed Pigpen on Charlie Brown? Flatulence with a smell so bad that your buddies won't let you near the cart girl lest it ruin their chances with her later that evening? If you're like Gibson, I'm sure you have. Well, never fear, my dear. The Two Glove Institute rides to the rescue with our one-of-a-kind scented underwear insert, aka the Two Gloves Flatuliner. This ultra-thin, anti-chafing, noise-reducing golf undergarment insert is powered by the proprietary MTG dual-activated charcoal filtration system. The first layer, the MTG core filter, completely eliminates the rancid smell emanating from your backside with each pernicious puff and brings you into compliance with even the most stringent carbon emission standards. But that's not all. Simply eliminating odor is not enough. The Two Gloves Flatulininer's second filtration element, appropriately dubbed the MTG Blast Radius Enhancement Module, actually improves the odoriferous environment surrounding your person each and every time you usher forth with another salvo by projecting a gentle, yet noticeable and pleasant scent up to 10 feet in every direction. That's right. Choose from among your favorite golf-themed scents, including Pine Valley, Cypress Point, Desert Willow, Juniper Hill, and the fan favorite, although somewhat pungent, TPC Sawgrass. Yes, sir. The Two Gloves Flatuliner is all about liberating you to express yourself with complete abandon all through every round, regardless of your digestive predicament. So give the Flatuliner a try. It will get you to net zero emissions, infuse you with a sense of release and inner well-being, and might even improve your golf buddy's chances with the cart girl. Yep. Just one more way the Two Gloves Institute is finding ways to improve the game of golf. I'll be back, but in the meantime, keep listening to Sean and the boys on the Sandy McFinish podcast and play more golf. Two Gloves out.
So we did it live. Do you think it recorded okay?
Oh, I think so. If not, I'll splice it in. But I think it's fabulous.
That's
I mean,
great.
you
That's
clearly
great.
didn't do a damn thing at work today.
I've got a bunch of them recorded, but when you told me you weren't interested, I just shelved them. I just
No,
put them up on the screen.
That is not the case. I think there was a misconstrued here. Clearly, I should have better explained myself.
Well, Sean, perception is reality.
Look, I was intimidated by your comedic prowess and your products you're pimping on the show.
No, I just think it's funny. I think the podcast is a good opportunity for us to I don't know, to showcase how much fun it is to have a bunch of guys to get together that do what we do. I don't know that there's a lot of league. I mean, there probably are a lot of leagues that I don't know, do what we do, I guess you could say, but it's just been a lot of fun, and I think it's rare. It's rare, and so I thought, I think it's a way to showcase. I don't know.
I think most of them had the good sense to give up on their podcast by now, but
Yeah, we're powering through. I mean,
how many listeners are we up to?
in total? Let's see here. I mean, we've had, let's see here. It's here someplace. 1,500.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean,
It's grown exponentially since last
yeah,
year.
I will say it our highest single episode listen has been over 100 something. And that was at the end of last year. Probably should have kept it going. That was something you wanted to do, Mikey, but it was clearly, we had some people on the podcast who were a little worn out.
well, look, the thing
Maybe
is,
we need to shake up the cast a little.
Yeah.
you need to, and the other thing, I mean, believe me, I'm a podcast consumer.
Oh yeah.
Bro. I just, that's almost all I do is listen to podcasts. And so one thing I have noticed is that I think we need to keep it to a certain length of time. I think you need to have defined segments, and I think you need to, as the MC,
Keep it going.
move it along. Yeah, you can just say, hey, this is the such and such segment. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Hey, this is the next segment. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, today we're going to interview Lance because he's a stud. Boom. Hey, we're going to do this. Boom. I mean, instead of, I think we drag a lot and talk about stuff that if you're not in the league, you're not interested. And guess what? We're not interested in attracting viewers that aren't in the league or that are in the league. We're interested in attracting viewers that aren't. So
I tend to agree. I think here is my plan. Okay. So we are going to get through this season. Okay. Then what we've got is the off season. And the off season podcast, you are going to be a staple of because you were proponent of wanting to have that.
Yeah, I need to keep it going.
We're going to keep it going, but I need more participants. That's the problem. Is I want to, anybody that wants to be on, I'm all in. Come on in. But I don't want to be dragging people here. Joe's a pretty good staple.
Yeah, but I think what you need to do is you need to interview every member of you need to have basically three or four people that are your staple people. And then every week you need to interview
somebody.
A member of yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have Connolly on or have Schultz on or but do it systematically so that, their personalities, because we have a lot of personalities.
A lot of it is not for lack of trying. Though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Purcell reaches out to a lot of people and gets turned down because it doesn't fit in with their schedule.
Yeah. It's a commitment to be here. And that's what I'm saying. If I want to keep it going in the fall. We probably won't do it every week, but maybe once or twice a month, at least, probably every other week or something like that. But I need a commitment from you or some other people to kind of have the off season, because it's going to get a lot different trying to talk about stuff when we're not playing golf every week.
One thing we'll have every week is the joke of the week, and I have the joke of the week ready if you guys are ready.
Okay. Well, we got to make our high nooner picks of the week.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah, I get in trouble if I don't have the picks. So let's see here. Fuller, you as the champion
first, and
as somebody who wasn't on the podcast, you always pick yourself. So you do have the first pick in this week's high noon pick of the week. Sun Sipper. This is at the par 3 course, which is I like to affectionately call the handicap killer, because all you punks go play and your handicap drops about 5 strokes.
Fair enough. I will go with Officer.
The Officer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, as a good and as a friend, I'm going to tell you he's not playing.
All right. Well, then let me take.
Anybody?
How about since he did such a good job in sales, we'll go 2 gloves if he's playing.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there.
He is due. I mean, he has pretty much stunk it up this whole. The only reason you haven't been on the podcast this season is because your play has been abysmal.
Yeah, I know. I said, what? I'm a scratch golfer that can't manage to put a round together.
Only thing you've been scratching is your ass.
I know. But hey, guess what? Guess what characteristic the winner of last week's tournament and I have in common?
What is that? Oh, the double glovers.
Yeah.
Double glove brothers.
I'm just saying there's an undercurrent of success that is happening.
Win 2 more, you'll have as many as I have.
No, exactly. and might I add, you wore 2 gloves at 2 different tournaments this year.
Because it was like 30 degrees.
Oh, start
qualifying.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're starting to come around.
Okay.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I am taking Guy. This is Guy's week, because here's the deal is I would pick somebody like Chuck or the Senator, but last year they were peaking at this point. This year they are hitting the wall. They've thrown a shoe. So I think Guy is the guy. Big time champion. All right. 2 gloves. Original 2 gloves.
Man, I was gonna say Guy because I think it.
Yeah.
I think Guy. I'm gonna have to go with you. I think Guy because
You can't pick who I pick.
Why?
Because it's not the way it works.
Okay,
Who did we get this one last time?
Okay. You know what? Okay, then I'm going full. Okay, I'm going full Babe Ruth. I'm calling my shot. It's me, baby. Okay.
You can't Fuller pick you.
I don't care. I'm picking me. I'm throwing darts, and my putter's pretty deadly lately. I bet you.
All right.
I bet you if you tallied up our last 5 tournaments, I bet I had 50,
All right.
20% fewer putts than you did.
Yeah. For that, you officially get Fuller. You get MTG light.
Oh, so do I? Okay.
Actually,
Well, you know what? So I have to pick somebody else. I can't call me.
You can't call you because Fuller picked you.
I will absolutely change my pick so that MTG can pick himself because I see the just joy in his eyes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I will absolutely change my pick.
you are.
Let's see. Can I have a
Lance,
third one
you're
here?
disgracing yourself here. You're giving up the big money and you're going.
Well, I know
You're getting ready to get
I
the
know.
margarita lime truly as opposed to the
I know.
pineapple sunset.
Apparently, I'm having tequila Trulies or tequila, whatever it was that Joe drank there. So I'll pick Gilbert. I got Joe.
Right
That's
choice.
a horrible pick.
Is the
I could pick
Senator gonna
myself, but that'd
play?
be worse.
No, but that's the safe pick. That's like picking Tiger Woods to win a tournament.
Nah, there's
No,
dude, the
no,
problem is there's
that's
too many
fine.
strokes. Too many
Yeah.
strokes on this, and nobody has to drive the ball, so then you don't have that problem.
Is Mike Warren playing? Do we know yet? I know Chuck's out.
I have no idea.
I'll take the Senator if he's in.
All right, you had the Senator last week.
Yeah, how'd that work out for me?
Yeah, but you know what? If he shows up, he shows up. He shows up.
The
I
only
think
person-
I want to change my pick. I'm going to jinx him. I'm going to take Schultz.
He gets the strokes. This could be a deadly one.
I'm
Well,
getting in his head though.
Oh yeah.
I'm picking him, but I don't want him to win.
That's the same with Hoffman. I mean, the dude, if he's on, it's like watching a golf tutorial.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All right. With that, we're ready to close it out with Joe's joke of the day.
Okay. What's worse than going on a golf trip with your buddies, getting drunk, passing out, and waking up with a penis drawn on your forehead? Finding out it was traced.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. With
Ouch.
that, we're out of here.
oh my
Smash that like button, and we will talk to you next week.
Okay. See you guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.